Oh my God, I have huge news.
I have huge news.
You have huge news. I have huge news. Do you want to go first?
I'll go.
You
go for it.
You gotta go.
Me?
Yeah.
You?
Oh, yeah! Coffee? AJ McCarron.
Hey, there we go. There we go. So one of the things that I want to bring up about AJ McCarron that gets kind of lost in the shuffle is when he was at Bama, Saban gave him the keys to the car. Right? You don't see a lot of college quarterbacks get the ability to audible. And McCarron was given that ability. If he came to the line and he looked at the line and he looked at the linebackers, he's like, yep, this, whatever the hell the call was, this protection's not going to work for that. He could call line protection changes. He could call route changes. He could do that stuff. So he was given the ability to do that by Saban, who doesn't let anybody do that. So I think that speaks volumes. Now, mind you, that was 4 years ago, right? So
he got Cyrus Kwanjo drafted.
Yeah, well,
with his ability to do line protections.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, look at Fitz, man. Everybody thought the Bills had this great offensive line, and a lot of it was Fitzpatrick when he was in Buffalo because the guy knew how to make protection changes. He knew how to stay upright. And everybody was praising the Bills' offensive line as, oh, yeah, the Bills have the least amount of sacks in the NFL through like the first 12 or 13 weeks of the season. And then you realize it was just Fitz making those calls. Like, it was him moving the pieces to keep himself upright. It wasn't the line.
Over his 16-game average was 28 sacks.
Yeah.
A year. Do you remember what Tyrod's was?
Oh, my God, 50?
45.
Jesus. Yeah, it's not even close from a numbers perspective. But the important thing about McCarron is he big enough to play in the NFL? Yeah.
Check.
Yeah. He was a backup for 4 years. People will dismiss that as saying, well, he couldn't beat out Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a $100 million quarterback. And it doesn't matter how you cut it. Andy Dalton's a $100 million quarterback, or near $100 million quarterback, right? That's what that contract is. So you got to beat out a guy who the franchise has said is our guy. Was it a Colin Kaepernick type deal? Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. So Cincinnati could get out of it, but to retain a job as a backup after cycling through OCs and Cincy is hard. That's not an easy task, right?
Yeah.
Look at how many guys the Bills have brought in that have been backups other places. How many of them were backups for 4 consecutive years? Right? I mean, not many.
Just Tyrod.
Tyrod. So I think there's something to be said for McCarron being able to hold down the job for as long as he was able to hold it. And honestly, Cincinnati would have retained him again as their backup QB had they won the grievance.
Absolutely.
But they didn't win the grievance. McCarron was able to get out of his contract, technically by league rules, a year early. He didn't accrue a rookie season. His rookie season, while he played in the playoff game, technically wasn't until the next year. And Cincinnati knew that. That's why Cincinnati wasn't talking contract extension with him. They're like, we're going to get you at basically league minimum.
Absolutely.
Why are we going to talk contract with you? So it's not like Cincy didn't want to re-sign him. Cincy didn't think they had to.
Yeah.
And then when he won the grievance, that window to negotiate was gone. It's totally gone.
Yeah.
Completely gone. So I'm good with McCarron. I think he can make the throws. I think he can do everything. I just don't know what his eyes are going to look like on the field. That's the thing that's getting me, is that's what will make him successful, is how does he handle his reads on the field? Because he hasn't been on the field very often.
Dabo runs pro style. McCarron has run a pro style for the past 8 years, technically, if you want to think about it, in Cincinnati and in Alabama. And he's one of those guys that he's going to know what he's doing on each play. That's what I think about him. He's gonna know what's going on. He's gonna know where everybody is. Because the quarterback position is a lot of times it's all about feel. Okay. All right. You got to get adjusted to your new receivers. That sometimes is an arduous task.
Well, especially since there's not a single receiver he's ever played with here.
Now, I don't want you to lose your mind if a couple passes in camp are behind the receivers or way ahead of the receivers.
Yeah.
Now that's something that you could probably look at. Obviously, there's got to be timing with the quarterback and the receivers. Everyone knows that. But, my friend, when you're at camp, after you're done losing your mind about AJ McCarron, look if the ball's in front of the receiver or if it's behind him. That's going to tell you two things.
I can tell you.
Do you already know where I'm going?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can.
The ball's ahead of him. Receiver is not timed up yet.
Yep.
He's got to be there in that spot. If it's behind him, McCarron was late.
Yeah.
So
I'm super curious to see how they develop that chemistry, because there's nothing that McCarron's familiar with here. He's never worked with Dable.
Nope.
He's never thrown to any of these receivers.
Nope.
Ever. So I'm super curious to see how that works out. I know that when I get to go to training camp this year, I'm going to try and get a minute or two with McCarron. My fear is that he's going to stay on the field after training camp and throw to guys, because that's what he's going to need to do.
Dude, you got somewhere to be? Wait till he comes off. What's wrong with you? You've been waiting for 4 years for this guy to get the bubble up.
I have been.
You're not going to wait another half hour?
Yeah. And McCarron is kind of like that girl you really liked in high school, where, like, you know, you're friends with her on Facebook. You just, you know, check in on her every once in a while, see how she's doing, you know.
Oh, she's arguing with her boyfriend again.
Right. Yeah. You know, then she files a grievance with the league and gets let out of her contract, and then you're like, hey, what's going on?
You run into her at a St. Patty's Day bar?
Never think anything is long-term in
Hi.
at St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my God! Don't you love Dropkick Murphys? Yeah, you love you some AJ McCarron.
I do. And for the money, how can you beat it?
No,
you can't. It's less than backup money. Backups make more than that.
They do.
That is a definitive I need to prove myself deal. The market collapsed for AJ McCarron.
Incentive-based deal.
And people say that, oh, well, you know, they talked to Bradford. Oh, they talked to, you know, this person before they talked to McCarron. Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. Right?
They talked to everybody. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. You explore all options, right? Maybe this is the path you want to go. Come talk to them. There's no harm in talking to anybody. Take the opportunity to talk to them, because you never know what could happen. Maybe you're building a relationship for if he gets released, right? Anything is possible. So no problems with the Bills not going directly after McCarron. If the Bills went after McCarron early, they would have paid twice as much for him.
Yeah.
No problem waiting it out, biding your time. And I give this organization a lot of credit that if McCarron truly was their target, which, again, I was of the mindset that he was the guy that they were going to bring in. I've been saying that for months. Like, it was a no-brainer to me. Bills are just going to sign AJ McCarron. I believed it so much, I just believed it to be fact already. Like, this is what's going to happen.
You willed it into existence.
I did. Me personally. You're welcome, Buffalo. Or, I'm sorry if you watch this 6 months from now. Whichever comes first. But I was totally convinced, because for what they were going to need, he fit the profile. The problem was getting him here. Why would you, as a quarterback, want to come here when you know they're going to look for a quarterback right in the draft? You know that. It's a new offensive coordinator, and it's not like McCarron gets extra time with Dable. They can't even talk right now. They can't. So the wide receivers can go and run routes, but as far as system installation goes, the receivers have no idea what the system's going to be. McCarron has no idea what the system's going to be. So it would just be going out and getting timing down, which is important and critical. But from a system perspective, they can't install anything at all. So
not that big of a deal. I mean, the guys for 4 years, he had different OCs. He's had to deal with different offenses.
Yeah.
In the past 8 years, he's probably run about 3 or 4 different offenses.
Well, and truth be told, it's not going to be hard for McCarron to get Dable's number and talk off the cuff.
Yeah.
You know, in an unofficial capacity. That's not going to be hard at all. They have plenty of connections.
Coach Saban, hey, it's AJ. Hello?
Did you hear at AJ's press conference what he did? Somebody asked him if he compared championship rings
to Dable?
Yeah. And his response is, no, I don't think he's gotten his yet. I don't have any of mine anyway. He gave them away to his family. His championship rings, his uncle has one. He said his grandfather has one. He's like, I'm going to let them enjoy that.
It's one way to endear yourself to the Buffalo community.
I mean, it was one of those
Family
little
guy.
tiny things that he said that I was like, you know what, that's really cool.